The Forest Fairies. It was a cold and crisp winter's day. Jacob and his sister Ava went out for a winter walk in the woods. They lived in the countryside, so the children were always exploring the forest. They loved watching the wildlife all around them. Ava especially loved the squirrels. She loved watching them collect their nuts that they had buried and then scamper away up the tree to eat them. Jacob loved listening to the birds. He and his grandpa could name the birds by their different calls. It was a particularly cold day, but the sun was shining and the sky was blue and bright. There were beautiful oak trees throughout the forest, and as Jacob and Ava walked through the woodland, Ava spotted a twisted tree. Its trunk was hollow inside. "Wow," said Ava, "this tree is hollow." Ava and Jacob climbed inside, and as they looked down, there were small steps leading down beneath the ground. "Oh, Jacob, this is amazing. It's a secret tree." Ava and Jacob followed the spiral steps down to the bottom. Jacob had a torch in his pocket with him, so he took it out and switched it on. The children reached an underground cave. It was just about big enough for them to stand up in. "Ava, we found the secret tunnels. Grandpa always talks about them in his stories, and about the forest fairies that live in the trees. The fairies move underground to reach their fairy friends in the other trees, so they won't be seen by us," said Jacob. The caves and tunnels were beautiful. The roots of the trees covered the top of the tunnels, and they were all twisted and entwined together, and the patterns they created were mesmerising and magical to look at. "Let's see if we can find the forest fairies," said Ava with great excitement. As they walked carefully through the tunnels, Ava spotted something up ahead. Silver sparkles began to appear in front of her. "Look, look," shouted Ava. Suddenly a beautiful forest fairy appeared. She was so tiny, with brown wavy flowing hair, silver sparkling wings and a brown dress, and her feet were bare. "Hello," said the fairy. "We are the Forest Fairies. You have come to a very special place. We would like to welcome you to our home. We are here to watch over the forest and all of its creatures." "What's your name?" asked Ava. "It's Willow," said the fairy. All of a sudden, more silvery sparkles appeared in front of the children, and another fairy emerged before their very eyes. "This is Elwood. He is the eldest of all the Forest Fairies," said Willow. "Hello," said Elwood. He was tiny too, with a wise, friendly face, with pointy ears, white long hair and a beard. He had beautiful silver wings and wore a dark green and brown outfit to blend in with his surroundings. "Come with us to the oldest tree in the forest," said Elwood. They led them, the children, through the tunnels. When they reached the roots of the old oak tree, they climbed up the steps and followed the fairies to the top of the tree. They stood on a small lookout point. The fairies had made it with branches and fallen leaves. It was very cleverly hidden and camouflaged with the trees, with its huge branches. "From here we can see all of the forest and all who come here. We ask that you keep our secret so that we can continue to watch over the forest. If other humans hear of our secret tunnels, they will all want to come and visit here. It will frighten the animals and the forest fairies. We are quiet creatures. We like peaceful places. We do not like crowds and chaos," explained Elwood. Of course, we promise to keep your secret and your tunnels," said Jacob and Ava together. The children stayed with Willow and Elwood that morning, and they were captivated as they watched the beautiful forest fairies lighting up the trees with their silver sparkles, their magical wings. They left sparks of silver light when they fluttered. The whole forest was lit up with magic and enchantment. When it was time to go home, Jacob and Ava waved goodbye to Willow and Elwood, and as they climbed down the steps of the tree, they felt so lucky to have discovered the secret tunnels and meet the enchanted forest fairies. "It is our job to keep the fairies safe now," said Jacob. Ava smiled a knowing smile. "This is how the forests are kept safe around the world. So if you see silver sparkles glistening in the trees, it must be the forest fairies keeping watch over the land." So that's my story called The Forest Fairies. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to tell you more again soon. Goodbye.